Where?
On the beat is too flexing.
If you taste my banana, you not go home. If you taste my banana, you not go home. My baby banana, baby, you not go home. My baby banana, baby, you not go home. If you taste my banana, you not go home. If you taste my banana, you not go home. Oh my baby, my African lady, oh baby, she's my lady, my beautiful baby, oh baby. Oh my lady, my African baby, oh baby, she's my lady, my fun sweetie, oh sweet baby. See I get the banana, a sweet banana. I get the banana, my big banana. You will like my banana, titi, sweetie banana. Oh my baby, fun baby, oh eh. Oh my baby, my sweetie baby, oh eh. Oh my baby, my fun baby, oh. So I say, I will give it to you, sucker, so. I say sucker, I will give it to you, my sucker, so. You will take it, sucker. If you taste my banana, you not go home. If you taste my banana, you not go home. My baby banana, baby, you not go home. My baby banana, baby, you not go home. Oh, but we didn't make up a motica. Oh, my Jula, oh, wait, up a make a lebio. Najula, yeah, you know, up a make a lebio. You know, the lemon, Najula, up a molejo. Why, up a make a lebio? Why, you know, the lemon? I think you're the man who tell him up a molejo. Oh my baby, my African lady, oh baby, she's my lady, my beautiful baby, oh baby. Oh my lady, my African baby, oh baby, she's my lady, my fun sweetie, oh sweet baby. See I get the banana, a sweet banana. I get the banana, my big banana. You will like my banana, titi, sweetie banana. Oh my baby, fun baby, oh eh. Tell you well, mama well, tell you well, in one and on your male, tell you well, no you well, tell you well, male, if you taste my banana, you not go home. If you taste my banana, you not go home. My baby banana, baby, you not go home. My baby banana, baby, you not go home.
On the beat is too flexing.
Zagaza, she let chuku business. Let me feel your chuku, baby. Our boy, you think I like it. She want it. She like it. You know what she want. She want it. Let me feel your chuku, baby. I love your chuku, baby. Mama, where you?
Young Paulo on the mix.
Mama, where you? Kuo, najipani yo. Hadi dejo. Awe, she let chuku business. Our boy, three kata. She want it. She like it. She want it. Let me feel your chuku, baby. I love your chuku, baby. Mama, where you? Ndomolo. Mbadire, tonyo wao. Yeah, mbadire, tonyo wao. Our boy, three kata. She want it.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Voice of Sinoe in the Diaspora with Doc Osayapo, the Esoteric. A beautiful day today. If you are under the sound of my voice, welcome aboard. I have a special guest today that will be having conversation with quite a beautiful and bright Liberian young lady. Who thought not to play around but to do something productive. And so as you get on, please share with me, just hit the share link. I will bring my special guest on the platform in a little bit so we can start the conversation. She is backstage right now. So let me test my sound before we have technical issue here. So you're going to hear feedback from my end here. Beautiful and bright Liberian young lady. All right, good. My sound is perfect. All right, so I'm going to play one more music after that. And then this is my special guest, by the way, so you can know who I'm talking to today. That's Massa Dopoh. Bright lady, you're going to hear from herself. And we're going to have a beautiful and very interesting conversation. And you're also at liberty to join us to contribute whatever you have. If you have questions for her, feel free. I can also bring you on if you want to interact with her. I can send you the link. I will also have a number that you can call to talk to Massa. Massa is a very sharp young lady. She lives in the state of Delaware, and she is doing great. And these are the people we like to talk to, the Voice of Sinoe. All right, so let me get this out there. Let me roll this video for you. And we will get the show on our way in a little bit here. Let's see what I got for you.
I won't tell you later, but my thing I want it. I won't tell you later, but my thing I want it. I hear something, 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 I hear something. Destiny, they can't stop my destiny. 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 So more hoping for me. So more hoping for me. Let's hoping for you. So more hoping for me. You don't want me play a role. I hear something, 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 I hear something. I won't tell you later, but my thing I want it. I won't tell you later, but my thing I want it. I hear something, 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 I hear something. You get Gali, but you let me too. 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 You don't want me play a role. Your place boss, respect with. Your place for your respect with. Your place for your respect with. Your place for your respect with. I hear something, 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 I hear something. I won't tell you later, but my thing I want it. I won't tell you later, but my thing I want it. I hear something.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, I don't know about you, but I heard something very exciting. And the thing I heard is that I'm about to listen to an author. I talked to her backstage, and that's something very interesting that I listened to. And so I want to bring that individual to you right now. As you can see, the beautiful image on the screen there for you is my special guest. That's Massa Dopoh. She's the author of a beautiful book on early childhood education in Liberia, why the government of Liberia should make early childhood education part of the curriculum of compulsory education in the country. And so that's the lady I'm about to talk to today. Her name is again it's Massa Dopoh. At this time, ladies and gentlemen, I have the golden opportunity to bring on screen for you my special guest. And this is Massa here for you. Let me bring the other image down. Hey, Massa, welcome to the Voice of Sinoe.
Hey Drake, thanks for having me on the show today.
Great. How are you? How's the day?
Like, it been overdue, right?
Yeah.
I'm happy to be here.
Yeah, quite sure, quite overdue. And eventually we are here.
Yeah.
Okay. My co-host going to join me in a little bit. So again, ladies and gentlemen, this is the Voice of Sinoe in the Diaspora with Doug Sayapode. You know that name, Sayapode? That's a strange Liberian name, right? Yeah, so I'm going to be talking to this bright young lady
today. I
today.
apologize for my different facial expression. I'm not too comfortable with being on camera. So
it's all right. It's fine. That's understandable. Yeah, we all one way or another we camera shy, but you'll be fine. I know you can do it.
No, I will.
You can do it. All right. But otherwise, how are you? How is Delaware?
Delaware is good. It's quiet, little bit sunny, not cold, like where I used to be. So it's beautiful out here.
All right, so I want us to be faithful to the time here, so I just want us to get straight into our discussion. Let's see here before, just so I can get the audience to know. If you want to participate, I will put a number out there shortly so you can be part of the program. Feel free to send your question to Massa. She will tackle your questions. Let's see here. I want to get something out there for us here. Quickly, give me a second, guys. All right, just wanted to put that little information. That crawler contains a number too. If you want to call, you can just call the number at the bottom of the page. I'll also put it out there for you. So, Massa, here's your book. Sorry, my screen a little bit too. I don't know whether people can see it. So this is the book that was written by Massa, and that's the book I want us to we'll be talking about today. Yeah. The first thing I want to know, Massa, writing a book, even article is tough, and not to measure a book. Why you decided to write a book?
Thank you for the question. Dak, right? Sorry.
Yeah, Dak. Yeah, Dak is fine. Dak, man, the fire code. I'm Dak. Yeah.
Thank you for the question. First of all, I want to take this time to introduce myself.
Good. Go ahead. That's fine.
My name is Massa Dopoh. I'm a born and raised Liberian. I live in the state of Delaware currently. And I know some part in the conversation, I'm probably going to be asked about my professional background. So I'm going to leave it as it is. But for now, my name is Massa Dopoh, and I do live in the state of Delaware. So to answer your question, writing a book is not a small thing. It's challenging. It's something that I've always had in mind that I want to do and that I was going to do. But and it's one of the reasons that actually took me to grad school. So and I have a couple of friends who are also authors, and every time they will reach out to me. I used to be so vocal on Facebook as it relates to politics in Liberia. So every time people will reach out to me and they would be like, Massa, do you have any plan to write a book? Or the time you take to be on Facebook, like just trying to, I know it's a good thing, it's politics, it's about people, it's about your country, it's about something that you are so passionate about, and you always want to have an opinion on something, which is good. But how about you plan and already try to write a book? And pick up issue in Liberia and focus on it and turn it into a book. So I'm like, okay, that's a good idea. I said, to be honest, it's something that has been on my mind as well, but I want to complete grad school, and then I'll be able to have enough time to focus on the things that I want to do in my profession. So then I decided to go to grad school. When I went to grad school, prior to even enrolling in grad school, early childhood education. The title of this book has been something I've already written down as part of my goals, that this is what I'm going to do as my independent study when I'm in grad school. So that's how it all came about. It's very challenging. It's a whole semester, almost a year, working on this project, like my independent study, while I was in grad school. So the idea came out with my professor after when I submitted my independent study to the graduate school for review. And my professor reached out to me and she was like, Mas, how about you try to develop a book out of this independent study? I'm like, oh, yeah, that's a good idea. So then once I was done with grad school and I was free from all of the obligations that come with being in school, I decided to take a month off my busy schedule and just try to focus on it, because it's different when you are writing your thesis or your independent study. It's different from writing a book. So even though the information in there are not going to change, but the formatting definitely is going to change and other areas are going to change. So when I did that, and I didn't know that though, I didn't know that until I was able to, one of the old place I used to live, my neighbors, he has a doctorate degree. So he has written some books as well. So I decided to send my wife to him. In fact, his wife and I, we are friends. So when I visited him, I'm like, Dr. Smoke, can you take a look at my book? I'm in the stage of publishing it and everything. He's like, oh, sure. So we sat down and we're going over it. And the way I was doing the quotation is different than, because that's how I was taught in grad school. Like when you're writing your thesis, how to do all your quotation and references and all kind of stuff. So it's like, oh, Mas, it's a whole different thing when you are writing a book.
Oh, wow.
So yes. So we sat down, like I think we had like 2-3 hours, and it was so exhausting. So I was like, I gotta go home. It's like, okay, it's just said it to me. He said, but now you got a concept, right? I said yes. So whatever he told me to do, I just followed that path. But it is a challenging thing. You might have the ideas, you might have the document, but the whole editing piece of it, the whole formatting piece of it is difficult. But at the end of the day, it's rewarding because you were able to inspire somebody, you were able to motivate somebody, and the information is out there for everybody to be able to utilize in their own personal lives. So yeah, challenging, but worth the time.
Yeah, that's. I think that's a productive way to spend your time. Actually, I'll be learning from you some of the tips. I'm taking some notes right now. Maybe I can amalgamate my papers to make it out of a book.
Let me
Who knows?
just tell you.
Yeah.
Because it's challenging. So we were able to put that as part of our consultancy. So we do have a consultancy in the United States. It's called the All You Want Consultancy. It's a registered business institution. We do a lot of stuff. And I'll be able to share that with you later on so you can share with your audience. So we are not just limited to books. like publishing books or helping people share their stories out there. But we are also into a lot of stuff that has to do with immigration, that have to do with programming, like developing your business, registering your business, and then it's a whole lot of stuff. Even your conferences, even their research. If you have a business and you want an institution and you want us to do, we do so many work, and we have been so grateful to be able to publish like over 3 different people books that are now on Amazon for sale. And one of those people um, in is a professor in London. He's a doctorate professor. So that's Inobi. So we were able to publish his book, and
Okay.
we're very excited. So we have done so many work for people, and sooner or later, so that's where my focus is as well on our consultancy.
Excellent. All right. Thank you. Thank you. So, I mean, you brought that to my mind, even though I wanted to ask that. I think it will be wise to share your background with the audience so that my people will know the lady that wrote a book about early childhood education in Liberia. What is her background? So give you a little educational background and stuff like that before we go into the details of the book, please.
Okay, so I know I've already introduced myself, Massa Dopoh, and I live in the state of Delaware. Educational wise, I do have a master's degree in social work. I'm a master social worker in the state of Delaware, and I do have a Bachelor of Science degree in Human Development and Family Science from Minot State University in North Dakota. And I do have, for North Dakota State University, sorry, because I did a dual degree bachelor program, so I was between 2 universities, so I always get it conflicting. But I do have a bachelor degree from Minot State University in Bachelor of Science degree from North Dakota State University, and I did my associate degree in Minnesota from the North Hennepin Community College in Liberal Arts. Work-wise, I currently do work with the state of Delaware, the Division of Social Services as the management analyst. I work with the Policy and Program Development Unit, and I do supervise the state SNAP Supplementary Nutrition Assistance Program, outreach program, in the state of Delaware. So I've been engaged with a lot of work. Personally, I use most of my time focusing on my kids. I do have 2 beautiful daughters, and I spend a lot of time with them, and we just do a lot of stupid, crazy stuff, fun stuff. And sometimes they even call me a teenager because the way I play with them. So I'm sorry, but yeah, I do spend a lot of time with my girls and just trying to build that relationship, because sooner or later they are going to be out there and I'm going to be left alone. So I rather enjoy time with them now than to focus on things that are not so much important. But that's my background, and we currently have our consultancy that's been registered within the US. So we do business in all of the states.
Excellent. All right, thank you. That's a pretty impressive background. So the lady is not just ordinary person. She knows what she's talking about with respect to early childhood education. All right, so Massa, let's do this here. I want to start with the basic here. The title, even though it's kind of a little bit long, but let me share that with the audience. So the title of the book is called Independent Study, and then under that we'll have a subtitle, which is Evidence-Based Interaction Approach to Addressing Early Childhood Education in Liberia, the Importance of Utilizing Family Systems Theory. All right, so it's a little bit of a mouthful, but I just want you to break this thing down for us. Let's start with the family theory and all of that. So what is family theory? Systems theory, actually, what is that?
First of all, before I talk about family system theory, I want to really talk about the evidence-based part of early childhood education. So when we talk about evidence-based, we are looking at facts. We are looking at things that have been done to actually be proven to really impact the lives of certain group of individual or society. And so that's why evidence-based intervention approach that we now have to use in order to be able to educate children in Liberia, in our country. And I solely believe that with the research that I've done, and even with my own personal background as somebody who have worked as a teacher assistant before in an early childhood at the sorry, I didn't say that, but I do work as a teacher assistant within West Fargo public school in North Dakota. I know I
Okay.
did not spend a lot of time there because it wasn't my passion. But just looking at the way I interacted with children, what the children were learning, and some of the resources that were given to them, I sort of believe that those are things that we can also incorporate in our country and that will be able to improve the academic standards of our children and will also be able to empower our children to be able to get out there and do the things that our country deserve and bring that proud to our country. So that's the evidence-based piece of it. And
So, but before you go out, when you say evidence, is that scientific or non-scientific evidence?
it is scientific. It is
Okay.
scientific. They have a lot of research that they collected, a lot of data that have shown to impact the lives of children, not just at a younger age, but they also gonna grow up. They're also gonna grow up with it as adults, as we can see from other countries around the world, and children who have benefited there from early childhood education. So that's the evidence-based part of it. And now to the family system theory. The reason why family system theory is so important, and I try to attach it to early childhood education, is the fact that it is also based on scientific. If you look at family system theory, it's not just about the individuals in the family. It's a whole, it's the whole family. It's like family interacting with each other. So for early childhood professionals or on early childhood caregivers, in order for them to be able to successfully help children or the child that they have in their classroom, they will be able to work with the family as a whole, because that child did not just end up in that classroom by themselves. They came from a family. So that professor, I mean that teacher or that caregiver will be able to understand which family this child came from. Or this child came from a gay or lesbian family, or this child came from a multi-secular family or traditional family. And, so those are things that are early childhood education, or a single family. And, those are things that are early childhood education professionals or caregivers will be able to learn, and it will also be able to help them to work with that child to be successful. So that's why family systems theory is very important when it comes to early childhood education.
Okay. Okay. So I still thought the family theory system. I mean, you're talking about different sort of families. So do the families, they have to work in collaboration with the school system in order for the child to succeed? That's what you're saying, in other words?
Yes, that's
Uh,
what family system is all about, and that's why it's so important to early childhood education.
okay, assuming that you have a family that is not quote unquote formally educated, how can they be impactful in the life of the child, though?
It's just their person. Their person matters a lot. So I would give you a story of myself. Like, my parents were not educated. They never had, like, my mom. You're probably gonna write 1, 2, 3. She will not be able to say that 1, 2, 3. But she was present. She was part of my life. She was there. She knew that it was important for me to be able to know 1, 2, 3 or ABC. So it's just the present. It matters to or early childhood professional or caregiver. So they don't have to be educated. And there are a lot of people who are not educated, but their children are educated because they were present.
Okay, so your availability is what matters. It's not the time you put in for the child to get the basics.
You don't have to. You don't have to if you can. It's not your fault if you can, but it is your fault if you are not willing to utilize the resources that you have to allow your child to have that education that you never had that resources to acquire that education for yourself. So people don't have to be highly educated. They don't have to know ABC to know the importance of things that are important to their children or going to impact their children. Just waking up every morning and taking care of your child at home, it's part of your parental responsibility. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's part of your parental responsibility. And it matters to your child. It do matters to your child. So it really not about how well you are educated in order for you to invest in the success or the education of your child or your children. But your presence do matter. And it's not just your present, but the way you are present. If I say you, there are people who are present, but they are not really impactful. Yeah, they don't have that attachment with their children. Like the child cannot be able to see that my parents love me. And mind you, children do have different ways of responding to how their parents love them. And I do have my 8-year-old daughter here. I'll tell you for sure that there are so many times my daughter loves to play. Like she sees me as somebody who must have their playtime with her. So if I'm not, or like I miss a day, or I'm not doing that to her, you know what she can say? You know the question that comes from her mouth, "Mommy, do you really love me?" So it's just about understanding your child or your children and be able to be there for them.
Excellent, excellent. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, if you are joining us, this is the Voice of Sinoe. My special guest today is Massa Dopoh. She wrote a book on early childhood education in Liberia, and so that's the book we are talking about. So, Massa, before we go further again, maybe there are people that like to read, like you. For me, I don't like to read, so I was forced to actually read a book. So,
I'm glad you did.
so how can we get your book? If somebody wanted to get it, what are the ways that you can get your hand on it?
All right. So the book, if you are in Liberia, copies of the book are in Liberia. If you are in the US, the book is on Amazon. You can order the book on Amazon. You can tap in my name. You can connect with me on social media. You can connect with me on LinkedIn, on Instagram. You can, and we will be able to see how best. But a lot of people wanted like an autographed copy of the book. So if you connect with me on Facebook, on Instagram, on LinkedIn, and I'll be able to send you autographed copy of the book. Otherwise, you can order the book on Amazon. And also on Facebook, I have a link there as well that you can order the book.
Excellent. So let's say I don't like to read, like I told you, and I wanted
And the book is
hold on.
also on, if you don't want, excuse me, sorry for interrupting you.
Yeah, go ahead.
If you don't want the paper copy or paperback copy of the book, we also have it on
Audio or something?
it's not audio yet, but
Oh,
it's electronic. They have this Kindle.
okay, good.
So
Okay.
Amazon Kindle or whatever, you can download it and you can order the book there, and which is very cheaper than the paperback copy of it.
I see. Yeah. So I was thinking about the audio. What are you thinking about putting it in the
Oh yeah,
audio?
I did. I sent out a couple of requests to do the audio version of the book, so I'm still trying to review them. And the reason why I kind of table on some of it on that is the fact that we were scheduled to launch the book in April, so we had all of the preparation and everything, and then COVID came. So we kind of just postpone everything right now
Okay.
until we can see how far this whole COVID thing is going. But so far, people have been very supportive, overwhelmingly supportive. I must admit, Liberians, friends, families, they have reached out to me, and I've been able to sell a lot of copies of the book. So I'm
Okay.
very thankful and appreciate those who have been able to order my book.
All right, great, great. So, but Massa, you told me you're a mother of two. I mean, according to my reading as well. How do you juxtapose writing and childcare, taking care of your children? How do you go about that?
You know, I think right now it's much better for me as compared to when I was in school and my kids were much younger. It was really challenging for me, to be very honest with you, especially when I decided to do a dual degree program on my undergrad years. Um, it came a time where I had to decide being a mom or being a college student. But those two things were so important for me. So I had to then find a way that I can accomplish the both of them without seeing one of them to be less important than the other. So if you go through my book, there are a lot of things that I reveal about my own personal struggle with being a mom and also trying to acquire higher education in this country. And I put those personal stuff in there in order to really motivate people and to for people to understand that um, there's no way you are going to be successful if you don't have obstacles, if you are not faced with barriers that are going to prevent you, that even going to challenge you to the point where you think, you know why, I can't do this. And I reached that point in my life when I was doing a dual degree program that I don't think I can do this. And I even reached out to my professors, like academia advisor, and I told him, I'm like, and it was like 2 semesters for me to graduate with both degrees, right? And I had to come down to that level to say, I don't think I can do this. But there's always people out there. And sometimes, yes, in our community, people don't take our stories so serious. And sometimes when people tell their story, people say, oh, you're just lying, you're just making up story until they become victims. You understand? But
Right.
we in a Western society where whether you are lying or not, people still have empathy in them, to be able to recognize the fact that this person is not lying. This is somebody who is in pain. You understand? So even if I later find out that this person is telling lie, the fact that they are telling me now, I should be able to empathize with them. And that's something that we really need to incorporate in our own daily lives, in our Liberian community, in our immigrant communities, and not to be really quick to tell people, say you are a liar, you telling lie, but be able to listen to people. So I just said this to say I have professors who were able to listen to me. I have friends who were able to listen to me. And so when I went to my professors and told them that I don't think I can do this, I spent whole day crying because I was in um, a community that it was really hard to really see people of your color, and and to be able to say you will help them with babysitter, and
Right.
then just having to deal with some relationship stuff that I don't want to finally did. So the only people I felt like I was more comfortable to talk to were my professors from my academic advisors. So I reached out to them, and they were able to tell me, say, Martha, I understand what you're going through. I understand that you need to do this, your kids are your focus and stuff. But what if you um what if you just push yourself a little further And like just leave your comfort zone and just say to yourself that I can do this.
Right,
Like
right.
it was from my professor, I learned how to say I can instead of I can't.
Okay.
Yeah, it was from her. So I said to myself, I can do this. Even when my friends told me to take a semester off to focus on that transition in my life, being a single mom to take care of my kids, I was like, I can do this. And I remember that one story my professor told me. She's like, at the end of this, once you are successful, anywhere you put your feet, people are gonna be afraid of you. And I still remember that today from Amy Phillips from Minor State University. She told me, she said, you can go through this and you will be successful. And everywhere you put your feet, people are going to be afraid of you and they are going to respect you. And that's exactly what I've experienced. So I went through that and I was able to graduate with my dual degree. And I must admit, from the time I graduated, that was the end of my struggle in America. From the time I had a college degree, it was the end of my struggles in America. I've never worked 2 jobs and I never missed a day that my bills were not paid on time. But when I was struggling, I had a couple of months that I missed that my bills were not paid. I was even threatened with eviction because what?
Yeah, I read it. I read that in the book, and that's I think it's important that you because a lot of us we are in the same. A lot of us out there we're in similar situation. Oh, and we give all the different excuses and alibis why we are not in school. And I think that's a portion of your story. I think you can emphasize on more because you talk about Amy and then one Debbie, right, or
Yes,
Deb or something.
yep,
Yeah,
yep,
those two people were very.
yep. And
Yeah, you
I
literally
met her as
cried.
a
All
professor.
of that.
Yes,
Yeah.
I met her as a professor in graduate school too. She was my professor there. And she was quick to recognize me. One time she sent me email. She was like, because like I told you, every time I write in a paper, I always try to focus on Liberia. So one time she sent me an email. She's like, if my memory can serve me right, were you in Minor State University? Were you that young lady who came to me crying that you can't do this and you wanted to drop out? I'm like, yes, Amy. She's like, remember I told you that everything was gonna be okay? I said yes. Yes, so it always good to reach out to people. And like I said, when I was doing a dual degree and I had a band of work to be able to do my internship, that was the time I was faced with invasion. And thank God to my brother in Canada, to my sister, to my brother in Liberia. He was able to send his wife to me in North Dakota. She was there for 3 months trying to help me with my kids, take care of the kids while I was going completing my internship. And they were able to help me to pay my bills.
Wow, that's
Yeah.
good. That's good, Master. That's very impressive. Hopefully, our listeners, they can take, including myself, learning, taking some tips from you. So let's go a little bit into the book here. You did a research on different countries. You go through like you got Ethiopia, Ghana, and Finland, France. I mean, a lot of countries, Tanzania, Gambia, Namibia, and all those countries. And you talk about our education system with respect to early childhood education. Which country would you or system would you say Liberia should mimic?
I think just because Liberia is in West Africa, I think we should be able to look at the example of Ghana.
Okay.
You understand? So when Ghana started early childhood education as part of their educational curriculum, they started off small and now that has grown. So now early childhood education in Ghana is like a compulsory kind of learning for children. And like I stated earlier, they looking at our education system in Liberia and not having that early childhood education built in our education system. That's the reason why we continue to see what we are seeing today with our education cycle. Children in this country or anywhere, they are very curious, and their curiosity starts at a very young age. So if you have a curriculum that actually going to be there to support them, you will find out that our children in Liberia, excuse me, they are going to grow up to be very, very talented. Very, very talented. And when you also look in the book, I think I have a curriculum there that I took from my daughter was in this early childhood education program, and that was the curriculum in the state of Delaware and in other states that early childhood centers have been using. So it goes from stage to stage. So they have like 0 to 3 years. They have from 3 years to 6 months. Like so, all these kind of important things are gonna improve the learning condition of the children, especially their ability to think, their ability to do things, all those kind of stuff. They go step by step, teaching those kids how to be respectful, how to say thank you and please, and how to be more creative. Because the more that you are teaching children these things, you kind of open up their curiosity to wanting to know more and to be able to explore other opportunities. So it's just the same with us. And I believe 100% that Liberia can implement that. They can start small and they can grow over time. And with the whole thing of technology nowadays, a lot of people have seen the importance of educating their children at a very young age because it opens up possibilities, so many possibilities. It opens up their curiosity to want to explore the world and do something at a very faster speed. So I think we can look at Ghana. We can look at other countries also in West Africa or in Africa that have been successful, and we can be able to incorporate that into our learning system. It's something that I wanted to do. I wanted to reach out to the Ministry of Education. Once I've completed the book and launched the book, I was planning on visiting Liberia this year until the COVID came because I also wanted to have some kind of book launch there. But then the COVID interrupted that. And I was also engaged with what's her name? The lady at the assistant minister for early child education at the Ministry of Education. I was in contact with her, and she and we actually planned on my visit to Liberia and be able to sit down and explore other opportunities. And then I wanted to connect also with the Liberian legislature. And because every time I request, like I told you, when I request for information, we don't get information. It's not accessible. Even when you ask people who you think that's supposed to know, they will tell you, say, oh, I will check. They will not get back to you. So
Wow.
it really is frustrating because I wanted to know whether we had like an act on early childhood education that the legislature was able to pass and those kind of stuff. But I don't think they have it because I reached out to so many of them and they are yet to get back to me. So I think it's really important that we try, our leaders in Liberia try to prioritize the things that are going to make Liberia a safer place, but not just them, because we have already failed generations upon generation. But at least children who have come after us will be able to, move forward with the country or have their opportunities to move forward.
Yeah, but Martha, that's I mean, I think that's a splendid idea, but it's one thing to maybe pass that into law. It's also another thing to be financially potent to run that program. So, I mean, how do we go about that? Because you say we should go with the Ghana's model, but then Ghana financially, the country is solvent relative to Liberia. If you do the comparison analysis, Ghana is far the budget wise, their budget is impressive. So, but how do we sustain such a program?
You know, anything that is important, there's always a way out for it. If you add values to anything, if you add importance to anything, you are always going to find a way out for it. So we have a Ministry of Education budget. So if you are telling me that early childhood education is important and you have had so many research, you have had so many other countries who have invested in early childhood education, and they know that it is an important and integral part of their society, their academic standards in their country. And that's the reason why the government was able to allocate budget to be able to support programs that will be able to benefit children. And that's the reason why the children in Liberia have been left out. People don't even see the importance of children anymore in Liberia. They don't know that these children are going to grow up and they might be the next president, they might be the next secretary, they might be the next minister. They don't see that. The only people who value children in Liberia are the people who can afford it, and which is very terrible. Very, very terrible, because they are just few. But then what about the millions, the thousands of children who parents cannot afford it? What do you have for them? What does our society or leadership have for those children who parents cannot afford it? That's what we don't have in Liberia. And I think it's so wrong. It's so wrong.
So, but Massa, how can you persuade your leaders to pay attention to the segment that you are talking about? What mechanisms do you have in place?
You know, it's such a funny, our society is such a, I don't want to say funny society, but sometimes you just laugh out loud. Because the thing is, there are people who are really passionate about certain issues in Liberia. And there are people who are really concerned about the way our society is going as it relates to leadership and stuff. And like I told you earlier, every time you come out to say these things, people think that you don't like the leadership, you don't like the president, you don't like this person, you don't like that person. And that is not so. You love these people, but you are seeing things and you are seeing people who have been left the wayside, who have been abandoned. And for me personally, in my professional background, I am not going to make any leader to be convenient when the vulnerable children are living in pains. I am not. I don't care how much I supported you. I don't care how much I love you. I am not going to make you to feel live in that state of convenience when I see an innocent child cannot even afford to go to school. An innocent child, their parents or their families cannot even be given a pathway to self-sufficiency. I am not going to do it. And so if I'm going to be labeled that, then that's fine. And that's the reason why people are afraid to engage the government, because the government does not want to hear opposing views. The government does not want to hear proposals because when the proposals that are different from theirs, they don't want to hear that. And that is damaging to our society. And at the end of the day, the people that you are passionate about, they are not going to get what they want, because that's how the government view you who are passionate about their welfare.
And so by government, you mean past and present administrations combined?
Past, present, and hopefully the future. Because if the present cannot even listen, you don't expect the future to listen.
So, but the Massa, you're disappointed in the President Ellen Johnson Sirleaf. She's a martyr. I mean, so I can vividly remember you campaigning for her.
You know, I supported her, and you know how disappointed I was. And even until now, I'm still disappointed in her. Yeah, just the fact that you are a woman, you are a mother, and I don't want to put our gender to it, because it is government responsibility all around the world. It's government responsibility to provide the basic services for their citizens. So if you cannot provide our basic services for your citizens have the responsibility to demand that. But we don't see that in Liberia. The only reason why we don't see that in Liberia is just the fact that everybody who opposes policies, who opposes things that are not benefiting the larger society, they see your opposition as enemies. People are going to cut off from you only because you spoke against the power that be, because they are part of that power that be. So that's the problem with our country. People are not waiting to listen to opposing views. People are not waiting to listen to you.
So, Massa, how do we change that? How do we change that?
To be honest with you, I don't even know. Yeah, and I think with this leadership, it has gotten so worse. It really has gotten so worse to the point that people, even you are friends with, they see you as enemies because you have an opposing proposals. If I come out to say something, I'm not saying it to benefit me. It's not gonna benefit my children. My children don't even I don't even know if they're gonna go to Liberia, even though they know that their parents are from Liberia. I don't know if they are going to do that. But I'm looking at those little children that I grew up with that were right behind me. So when I talk, I'm talking on behalf of those children that was in my slum Claritin community. I'm not talking because of my children yet. No.
Okay. All right. Hopefully the government. So, but your recommendations, you got a couple of them here. I think number one, Liberia must prioritize education of young children. You said from 0 to 5 because it is the foundation of long term growth. You also talk about early childhood education must be a part of the Ministry of Education and curriculum. Have you engaged the Ministry of Education, and what is the reaction?
When I was writing the book, like I said, my friend Alton is he's one of the deputy ministers at the Ministry of Education. So he was the one that was able to put me in touch with the lady who's the assistant minister for early childhood education. So when I reached out to them, it was very like the two of them. It was a good atmosphere, I must admit. It was welcoming, and even when I reach out to other people. Like one of my friends, she's a professor in one of the states, and she was supposed to be the keynote speaker, in fact, at my book launch. But so we have a lot of good ideas that we're putting together, not just to engage the Liberian government, but to also engage UNICEF, because a lot of the early childhood programs that we see in war-torn countries, they are being sponsored by UNICEF. So we wanted to engage UNICEF to see how best we can have like a long-term goal. But with the financial piece of it, even if it's like 500,000 that you take it, that you add in, that you're making early childhood education as a compulsory education, you as part of the Ministry of Education programs. Even if you take 500,000 and invest it every fiscal year into that program, at the end of the day, even if it's 2 or 3 or 4 children, they are Liberians. They are Liberians. They are gonna benefit, and they are obviously when they benefit from it, they're also going to pay it forward. So it's just our whole pay it forward piece that we don't have in Liberia. We think when we impact the lives of 1 or 2 person is not important. It is important. It means a lot.
Yeah, but I think Massa, I think the government can do it, especially if you
I
go
think they
if
can
you
do it.
yeah.
Like financial wise, they can do it.
Yeah,
They can.
because if you go through the budget, there are things in the budget that we don't need to pay for. You
No,
know, yeah.
no.
So I look at the budget sometimes to get, but I mean appropriation for council or elders and chiefs and stuff. Why not put that building the children?
What's the
Yes,
impact? Even
right,
me, like first when I was not really like into so much about budget, like the whole fiscal piece of it, like in my whole work history until I started working now in a different division where I have to be how you call it, be submitting budget for my programs and doing all those different line items and stuff. So now I understand how these things work. So like I said, if the government can even add like a 500,000 every fiscal year and say we're gonna invest in early childhood education, we're gonna focus on this community. Let's say for example the West Point community. You understand? Okay,
right.
the 500,000 for this fiscal year is gonna focus on the early childhood education for children in West Point. You have impacted that population, that community. And obviously, when these children benefit, they are going to also extend their knowledge to other communities. So you take it piece by piece. That's what I'm saying. You go from one community to another or one country to another and focus your agenda on them. And they can do it. Even $1 million, they can do it. I mean, we got continual going missing around here with millions that are in it. That other child you can't.
Speaking of continue missing though, how sure are we? How sure? Hold on. How sure are you when we give money for early childhood education, they will use the money for that purpose though? When you're talking about continue missing.
No, I'm just saying if continue can go missing with millions of dollars in it, why you think that the government can have millions or $500,000 to invest in their own citizens?
No, my point is, if the continue can go missing, why do you think 500,000 will not go missing when you put that? Why do you trust the people in the first place to give them 500,000?
And that's the reason why we need to develop an act in the legislature that will be able to regulate everything, even with any childhood centers all around the US here or even in other African countries. They have people who are part of the government that are overseeing the financial aspect, the programming aspect of all these things. So we can do the same. And that's why I was really interested in working with people from the legislature to be able to draft an early childhood act or policy or whatever that is, that would be able to make that part of the Ministry of Education, because they too have oversight responsibility when it comes to the Ministry of Education. So obviously they will be able to look at the budget, whatever that's going to be proposed for early childhood education. So it's not like you're going to take budget and money and just give it to one person. No, it's not going to be like one person going and taking the continuum and the continuum just get missing. No, you're gonna have people supervising the work.
Yeah, but Massa, I understand the law part of it, making laws. I think we'll have a lot of laws in the country, but another law like PLO will say another law that says follow those laws that you make or that you put in the books. So the implementation of those laws is the problem in the country.
But yeah. Where are those laws? And like I said, those are public documents, but the public don't even have access to it. I'll tell you for sure, like the program that I work with it's a federal program. And so any policies that we have to create for that program, it has to be posted. It has to be posted on the state website. And it has to be sent to the federal government for them to comment on it. And if the public in the state of Delaware, they will be able to comment on those policies, because those are things that are going to impact their lives, that are going to affect them. You understand? So it's just the same with Liberia. If the legislatures are going to be making policies, they are going to be creating acts, they are going to be doing things that are going to impact the lives of the people, they should make those information available. So if we keep saying we have all those information, but where are they?
I think I think we're running out of time. So, but I got a couple of questions that I want to throw at you before you let go. You spoke of with some of the recommendations you made in the book, and you talk about smaller class sizes and stuff like that. How small?
I'm okay with going 30 minutes over if people got questions and stuff.
Okay, so you talk about? Class, the size of class, like smaller. How smaller? Like, what's the number of students you're talking about per class?
So I actually put that in there just because of the budget constraint. So let's say if the fiscal year is not going to be consistent, say every year the government. Let's say this year the government decided to invest $500,000 in early childhood education. So then we're looking at the resources. We're looking at the caregivers being paid, and also the materials that the children are going to use, in the classroom. So if we put all of that together and we say, okay, now we have already exhausted this portion of the money. So, okay, let's look at how many children we can be able to accept. So that's going to be based on the money that's going to be invested in the program.
Okay. All right. So, Master, another question I have here, it has to do with, I mean, there are people out there that want to write. So what advice do you have for aspiring, young people that want to become writers? What advice do you have for them?
My advice is I can help. No, I'm just
Okay. I'm here.
But honestly, I can help. But my advice is not to give up. It is especially for professionals, right? If you not just professionals, but there are people too who want to get their story out there. Get out there and tell your story. Whether your story is not being narrated the right way or people have issues with it, get out there and tell your story. That's all I can tell you. Because in our society, we need more writers. We need more readers. We need more listeners. We say too much, they say in our society that we actually read the materials. And that's what is affecting our society. And think it's just not in Liberia, but even in our immigrant Liberian society in this country. There are people who, because of this, say, I was just talking to one of my friends. He's doing his paper on immigrants, like lack of why immigrants do not access resources like in the country. And I was telling him, I'm saying that's one of that is has to do with the fear that they get from their peers and the communities and stuff. And a lot of these things are wrong. A lot of these things are wrong. I work with social services, and I know that social services in this country is the responsibility of the government. It's not that you are lazy. It's not that you are going to beg. It's government, a responsible government, implementing their responsibility in their tax. So if you are out there and you think that you need help, go and get it. There are so many help in this country, but our society loves this say. So it's just the same with your book. If you have your ideas, put your ideas out there. There are people, whether it's 1, 2, 3, they are going to be interested in it, and they are going to reach out to you. And it's going to save them too. When I wrote that article in the newspaper, I think it was like 2 months ago, I was really surprised that there are Liberians who are reading too. They
Right.
have found interest in reading. And a lot of the comments left on that article are comments that I took into consideration, because those are things that I never knew. Yeah, I never knew, but it was an addition to my article. So the fact that I was able to write that article out there and people came and make that suggestion and even reach out to me personally, it means
Okay.
a lot. So get your ideas out there. Don't like nobody hear your ideas, and don't listen to this say. You live in a civilized world. Information is everywhere. As soon as you Google anything, you will see it. But just make sure it's coming from the correct site, because people also put a lot of junk on the internet. But
Right.
always reach out when you need help. Put your information out there. And I'm here to help you as well.
Excellent. So, but have you gotten any feedback from your book so far? Like, criticism, and how do you react to criticisms?
I've gotten both. I can say negative, because for me personally, I like to grow from opposing views. Yeah, I like to grow from it. As long as it's gonna be respectful, it's gonna be polite, I like to grow from it. But if it's an insult, then obviously I'm gonna be an antagonist. But I like to grow from opposing views, as long as it is polite, and it doesn't have to be constructive, because everybody, I'm not here to define how people should write their stuff. But I would tell you, when you insult me, you understand, everybody will know that you're insulting somebody. So whether it's constructive or not, leave me your views. And even you who just purchased the book, Feel free to go on Amazon and leave your reviews there. I think other people there they left reviews, and people reach out to me. They give me their suggestion on the way forward, and I took all of those information very very seriously because it helps me grow. So now I know that that was my first book, and even me sitting here sometimes when I go through it, I see areas that I needed to grow. And so definitely I know like now I'm working on my second book. I know it's something that I have to work on more. And even people who have helped to format their book, publish their book and stuff, it also helped me for my mistake. The mistakes that I make on my book also help me to correct, not to make that mistakes on their materials as well.
Okay.
For
So
me
was it,
too.
I mean, you say you're working on another book. What is it about this time around?
So I got two books that I'm actually working on, and one of them has to do with mental health. Um, you know, in our society, we don't really see these things as important. Um, we tend to, um, I don't know how to, we tend to look at the wrong places and the wrong people whenever something that has to do with mental health um, occur in our whether it's in our family or it's in the government, we tend to look at the wrong people in the wrong places. So I want to use that time to focus on mental health. And that book, I'm trying to collaborate with two of my friends who one person already is she's a doctor. She got a psychologist degree. She also a professor, and I know she has tons of information to give to that book. And my other friend too is the same, working on his doctorate program, psychologist, mental health. So I'm trying to work with the two of them to put that book together. So we're gonna be looking at Liberia. We're gonna be looking at the different areas of mental health. I mean, mental health diagnosis and treatments and all those kind of stuff. And then we're gonna be making some kind of recommendation, also to the Liberian government. But we really want people to take mental health issues serious in Liberia because it's no joke. Like I was telling you, I'm like, sometimes you see things that you're already passionate about. You already think that this is about like the things that you know are right. You really think that people would do it the right way. But when you come across it and you notice that people are not doing it the right way, because you are so passionate about this stuff, it affects your mental health. And I was telling you, I'm like, I was so passionate about Liberian politics. Sometimes it drain me. Sometimes I don't even sleep because you want to say something. You have this strong opinion. You really want somebody come and attack you. You want to do it, but you don't know that it's affecting your mental health. And your mental health is life. If you can
Okay.
take care of your mental health, you will be healthy. So sometimes set their boundaries in your life and say, okay, you know what, I'm just gonna ignore this. I'm not even gonna pay attention to this. And that's just me right now. Like nothing I see that's worthless. I'm gonna sit talking about it or whatever. Even if it's important, I find different ways to fix it or to react to it and just the normal way that's going to train me or affect my mental health. So we're going to focus on mental health in Liberia, and we really want people to take it seriously because it's important. A lot of the things that we see in Liberia are diagnosis of mental health.
Okay.
That
So,
we
but Massa, where do you get ideas to write these books?
honestly, I went to you know I do a lot of reading. Yeah,
Okay.
I do a lot of reading, even like health wise. And I will tell you for sure, I was one of those parents who will go to the hospital, even when I was pregnant with my daughter, my first child, because I just came in America, pregnant with my daughter. I was so curious. Yeah, I was so curious. So when I go to hospital, anything the doctor tells me, like even the papers that they would give me, I would take whole time reading that paper. Even when I gave birth to my to my daughter, my sister used to say, I will follow everything the doctor says. I'm telling you, my sister used to be so bad, like following everything that people say in the country. I was going to say, just be following everything that people say.
You're literally.
Yeah, but those are signs. They are signs. It's not gonna change. And so now my perspective about things is totally scientific. Yes, sometimes again in our society we so want to listen to pastors. And, the pastor had this miracle night, the pastor said this, the pastor had a vision. It's a good thing. Don't get me wrong. I'm a child of God. I believe in God. I started learning the Bible from a very young age. And I can tell you that my dad was a Jehovah Witness. So if I say Jehovah Witness, you know what they do, right?
Yeah, no.
Yeah, know the Bible so well. So nobody would tell me about the Bible. I learned the Bible over the time I was young. And my dad spent a whole lot of time with us. Even when we don't even want to read, he will force us to read the Bible. Yeah, he
Oh,
would.
wow.
Yeah, he would force us to read the Bible, and so many times I went preaching with my dad as well. So nobody gonna tell me say you don't know God or you don't know the Bible. I know, but this is science. It's not gonna change. God gave us the wisdom to be able to do the things that are right. So you're not gonna say your pastor say the other person your health like you will not get sick, but you continue to do the things that will make you sick. Only because your pastor said you'll not get sick, so you do
I
the
know.
things that will make you sick. It miracle doesn't work that way. So it's very important that we read. And sometimes when you get a health diagnosis too, they just to throw it out there, it's good to read about it. It really is good to read about it. And I try to tell a lot of my friends, I try to tell people every time people express this, I'm like, did you do your research? Just to take precaution, just to live your life that will not affect whatever problems that you are going through. And only reading you can find these things in. You go listen to people telling you the wrong information that they can't even support. The thing about science, they can support their findings. You can get it.
That's that's right. That's right. Okay, Master, we're winding down here. So hopefully you'll keep your answer brief so I'll be able to exhaust my ask
All
questions.
right.
Yeah, I really appreciate it. I mean, I'm learning a whole lot. Um, uh, what do you hope for your readers? The key message you want the readers to take from your book, the takeaway.
Just the just to prioritize early childhood education. Just to prioritize the importance of the learning of children at an early age, and not just the message. To prioritize the importance of learning of the learning of children at an early age, and whether you have the resources or not, but have the mindset.
Okay.
Have the mindset.
Great. Okay. So next one that I have for we wanted that. So these are basic questions that I want to get out of the way. Who is your favorite author and why?
Ooh, that's a tough one. You know what's funny?
No.
I I do a lot of reading, but I don't remember
Okay, it's
some
fair,
of
you
the
know.
people. Yes, some of their names. But let me see. Let me go on my Kindle.
Yeah, I mean, I can extract that for you next time if you want.
Oh
That's
yes,
something we
please.
can talk about.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I do. I like to read. I like to read books. If I say like personal books, I like to read books where people are sharing their struggles, where people are sharing uh, um, things that they struggle with, and at a later time in life they were successful. So I like to read those kind of books because it motivates me too to see them like, yeah, if this person can do it, I too can do it. The person went through all of this, and at the end of the day, they were successful. And that's the same with people who motivational speakers. Those are the people that I like to listen to, like sharing their stories and all of the barriers and struggles that they were faced with. So those are the things I like to read. And academic wise, I like to read science.
Okay, good, excellent. So, you're talking about reading. What are you currently reading?
I'm reading my book.
Yeah, right, excellent.
I'm reading my book because Daniel told me I was gonna have a tough interview with you, so I
And
decided to read my book. So
the,
right now
the
I'm
guy,
reading my book.
the guy exaggerated. Donna just.
Ooh, that's crazy.
Dana is he just I told you how to do is don't make the guy afraid. It's just a friendly conversation. What we're having, I will schedule another interview where we'll have a political conversation. And that way I'll be tough on you.
I'm reading this book. It's called what's I hate this keynote thing. It's called Think and Grow Rich.
Oh yeah, I got copy. Yeah, it's a
You
very
got
good book.
copy? Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
My brother actually encouraged me to read this book. I can't believe that little girl, that's all she thinks about.
Yeah, it's a pretty good book. I love it. I have a copy on my shelf right now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I love the quotes too. I love the quotations that are in there.
So, but before we get it, I'll let you off, Massa. I really enjoyed the conversation. What is your philosophy of life? With respect to how to improve the. I mean, generally, what is your philosophy of life as a whole?
This is how I see life, right? I view life as an opportunity to be able to acquire knowledge and be able to pay it forward. So, and not to be able to look down on people who don't have the opportunity yet to acquire that knowledge, but
Okay.
to be able to motivate them so that they can have the idea, even if they don't have the resources, but the idea of acquiring that very knowledge that you were able to acquire for yourself.
Excellent. All right, so but I got a what called false dichotomy philosophy. So I'm gonna create one for you and see how you're gonna tackle it. And from there, I will just give you a general. I mean, the opportunity that's something that you wanted to speak on that I didn't measure or we didn't measure. So here is the fun question here. Would you rather be in a room full of spiders or a room full of like you say snakes? Which room would you want to be in?
I think I'll be in a room full of spiders.
Why is that so?
Because
They're less.
I see spiders as people who are curious, like they want to be everywhere
Oh
because
yeah.
they want to see everything, they want to contain
Okay.
everything. So I want to be everywhere and be able to see everything and learn everything.
All right. One thing before we go to, I wanted to know is you have a charity organization or something, Pick a Child or something like that. I got it from the book there.
I
So
do.
what are you currently working on?
So my organization started when I was in high school, right? It was Kissing Tomorrow. I was really motivated by my brother and really inspired by my dad and supported by my dad when I was in high school and trying to make my community a better place. And I'm so thankful that my dad was supportive in everything that I was doing when I was in Liberia. So when I came to the US, one of the reasons why when I came to the US, I really wanted to go back to Liberia is because of that organization. It's because of the connection, the way I connected with people in my community, and especially children. So I really didn't like living in America, but then I was also motivated to be able to utilize the resources that's in America. And at the end of the day, I can even make a greater impact in my community, which of course it turned out to be that way for me. So Pick a Child, Kids and Tomorrow have been really involved with everything in my community, from giving books to children, from having scholarship for children, from having back to school for children, and just being engaged with them and their parents, and also helping people in other communities with fundraiser to be able to solve their problems. So my friend and I, we decided to open Pick a Child. So we just decided that, okay, we would just kind of incorporate both programs, because obviously if you look at the names, it's about children, giving help to children, less privileged children. So we decided to do that. And then, yeah, I think it has been going well. People have reached out to us. But with Pick a Child, we will focus on um, people who have lived in in our Claritin community, to be able to pick a child and send them to school.
Okay.
So that's our focus with Pick a Child, to go after those people who are successful today, who have lived in our community and are successful today, to be able to pick a child and send them to school.
Excellent. All right. Thank you so much. So, Massa, I really, like I already said, I really enjoyed the conversation, and I wish it could go on all day, but we have other things to do. You know, you're a busy lady. You appreciate the time, extending your time a little bit, you know, give me extra 30 minutes. I really appreciate that. So if you have further comments to make, you can go ahead, and then we can call it your day.
All right. I guess we don't have any question. And Daniel, who was supposed to post the hardest question, he's not. He probably
He didn't follow. He didn't follow today.
Okay,
I'm
so
not
he'll
seeing
pick up
him.
later. Yeah, but thank you for the opportunity given me to be on your show. I know it has been over a year plus now since you've been inviting me on this show.
I know.
But I'm happy to be here and to be able to share my own personal story and my own ideas on the way forward in our country, in our society, and also for children. That when children acquire the support, they acquire the knowledge, the wisdom, they can be anything, they can be anybody in our society. And at the end of the day, our society is going to get the benefit, because these children are out there, they are kicking asses, sorry, but they are bringing that pride and joy to our society. So thank you. The book is out there for your audience. Please go on Amazon, reach out to me, support my work. You're not going to regret it, because it's really about our society and be able to support each other. So thank you so much, Dick, for having me on this platform. And I look forward to more conversation. Like I told your audience, we do have our consultancy in the United States. We are involved with so many work. It's just a bunch of professionals who come together and be able to register a consultancy that will be able to meet the needs, different kind of needs based on their professional background. So if you have some kind of legal trouble, we got people who have that legal background to address your trouble. If you have immigration trouble, we got people with immigration background, and we also have the resources to connect you with. So we don't want people to be left out in the midst of this, but we want people to have the information that are out there, that are valuable, and that can help them address their issues. If any issues have to do with social service issues, I work with social service. Yes, it's a federal. A lot of the programs, a lot of the issues are federal issues. So obviously, if you're in a different state, I would definitely be able to give you my idea on how social service is working in that state as well. So feel free to connect with me, send me friend requests, connect with me on Messenger. I'm not too much on Facebook with politics nowadays, so you'll not see so many posts from me on political issues. But yes, I'm engaged.
All right, thank you so much, Massa. I know you say I hate to do this, but I got to do it before you leave. You know, you are retired. I don't know what a retired politician or what that situation is, but from 1 to 10, you know, 1 being the least in this case, not 0. and 10 being the highest. How will you grade George Weah government? I need to put one political question in there, and next time then we'll pick up from there. So how do you grade the George Weah government right now?
You just want to spot a far conversation. My opinions are very strong. But overall, we tell God thank you for life. We tell God thank you that our people are still alive, even though some people have been chased out of the country or for whatever reason. We are following the story, even though some people have lost their lives for whatever reason. We are following the story, but not to make this the way you want me to do it, but we are grateful and we will continue to hope the best that George will be the president that we all envision. Because when we supported him, we saw him as that hope for so many of us. Not because we are successful today, but if we were in Liberia, we were going to be part of the vulnerable population in Liberia. And so that was our hope living abroad and wanting to support George to be that hope for so many vulnerable people, our friends and families who are going to see him as that hope to their pathway to self-sufficiency. But so far, we have not seen that yet, but we hope that it will get better. We hope that he will realize that these people are looking up to him and that he will be able to do the things that they believe in, that we believe in, and for which we had to support him. So, don't want to be political, but we hope that
I noticed that, so I don't want to put you in a political hole right now. So that's enough. All right.
President for everybody, and after the 56 years, we'll come out with our opinions.
Oh, okay. The president is there for 56 years.
That's
okay.
what the physicians told us. So we will give them the chance to rule for 56 years. If we stay alive, we'll say something.
Okay. All right, Massa. Thank you so much. I really appreciate the time.
Thank you. Thanks to your audience for having me on this show. And I look forward to more conversation. Please.
Yeah, and the people who are participating more if we're making flour, we're saying something, but
that I told you, I'm like the things that people find interest in. So if you don't want to be insulted for a politician, write your article, write your information, turn it into an article, because they don't read. The people who are coming to fight you for politician, they don't take time to read.
Right.
But if you write on Facebook and say George Weah is called Rob, your whole man, your children, your entire family will be insulted.
They will be coming for you. All right.
If you write your article and you put in the center of your article, George Weah is called Rob, nobody will cuss you because they read that far.
All right, Massa, thank you so much. Really enjoyed the time.
Thanks for having me. Thank you.
All right.
Thanks, everybody.
All right.
I look forward to more stuff.
Okay, yeah, we'll definitely engage you. All right.
And please have us on. We're going to be launching our consultancy soon, so we will need that.
Just shoot me a message in Bass and we'll work something out.
I will. I definitely will.
All right.
All right. Bye-bye.
Oh, there's something in your eye.
Yeah.
Also, ladies and gentlemen, that's my special guest for the day, Massa Dopoh, beautiful, hardworking young lady, doing something productive. And she just gave us a book. So if you're out there, you want to read it, it's on Amazon. She told us already. And get your copy so you can share the information with other people. That being said, enjoy the rest of the day. Let's play the music. I know she doesn't like CDC business a lot, so let me give her CDC music.
If I get on top of sweat, get on top of sweat.
Thanks for watching the show, guys. I really appreciate you.
It's not like right, who we carrying? We better talking to. We don't have a pleasure talk down who we carrying. We better talking to. Just say of your life when I so scared. Don't fall for them a minute I so scared. You're so red party back.
We are out, ladies and gentlemen. Have a wonderful day. Thanks for following the show. We appreciate all of you.
That's so scared. If I know the school, if I know the hospital, if I know